welcome back to another episode of the Podsack Podcast.
Podsack Podcast.
We
Podsack
back. We got Andre, we got Sheldon, we
what's
got
up?
Coop.
It's
and
a full
right in
house
the
today.
back over there, the sweet succulent man that I'm looking at right now, Patrick.
Some moist.
Pat Rick.
Some moist.
Oh, damn! You always looking so cute over there. I don't know how I'm getting nervous.
We got a full crew today.
Full house.
And the next
dude.
week we're losing another one. Another week. Goddamn. It's terrible.
Who are we losing?
Me.
This guy. He's got another photo shoot
I have,
for the next pod.
I have
so
another.
it's ridiculous. No, I'm just playing. You do your business, bro. You get your money. Get that paper.
Don't worry.
I'm talking to your employer and telling them that you can't show up today.
Me and Sheldon will hold down the fort.
Again?
You held down the fort while I was gone. I gotta repay my
Yes,
debts.
sir.
Gotta repay my debts.
Was last week good though?
Last week was good.
Nice.
I think we had a really good
think it was
conversation. Dude, that was like the perfect time too. We ended our like the last sentence
Yes, sir.
at like 1 minute 15.
Oh,
Like-
easy.
An hour 15.
It was perfect. It was
Nice.
perfect.
The golden time.
The
Yeah.
golden time.
It was awesome.
So yeah, how are your guys' weeks?
Good. Not bad. Busy with side things, but other than that, just same old, just trying to get through life.
Nice.
Hunker
nice.
down.
Sheldon.
You know what's crazy is that like I might have said this prior, so excuse me if I'm repeating, but
It
like
was my turn to talk, man.
I'm so sorry. You can go.
No,
It just like I think it hit me last week that like this year's almost done, and I was like, I swear I blinked and like
Dude, I know.
It's crazy
This
to me.
year was crazy.
it was like January, February. Now I was like, what happened to the middle of the year?
There was no middle.
Summer didn't feel like summer,
We
but I
had
also
a really
worked throughout summer.
we had a really shitty summer.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Like the weather was bad. We had
Like some hot days, but usually it's like hot from like one day,
Consistently.
and then like 2 months of just straight heat.
Well, yeah, like what? I don't think we had a day. Was there any days over 30? Because when I was gone, I don't know.
There was a few. There was a
was a few?
32-ish.
Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was gone from the first couple weeks for the first few weeks of August, which are like our hottest weeks here. But when I came back,
yeah.
it was raining.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going
Yeah.
on, dude? It's
Yeah.
August. And it's just been cold and rainy ever since. And it's like, I don't know.
Although this September we've had a couple hot days.
Yep.
Which was
Yeah, like there was
it's
a-
carrying over.
There was a
so-
couple days where I went for a run and it was like 28, 27. But like I think one of the hotter days was probably like a 32. But like nothing crazy.
I don't think there's anything, that was like crazy hot where it was
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, this is scorching.
Yeah, but it just like it hit me. I think like sometime during the week that I'm like, man, this year's almost like, what the hell?
Yep.
So yeah. So other than that, the week's been good. How have you guys been?
It's been chilling. I mean, work's still like busy
Yeah.
trying to set stuff up, but
Do you guys like? You may not know, but do you guys get busier by the end of the year to kind of
Yeah.
like
so
to kind of like get things done? or-
It's people using up usually the last little bit of their insurance, correct?
yeah,
maybe like I know August was really busy because those are like kids going back to school and
Yeah,
stuff.
no, of
right?
course,
so
of course.
want to get their kids in. September is still kind of like that. I think it's supposed to slow down in October, November, and then it should be cranking out again like mid-November to
Okay.
December, realistically, before the new year ends.
Yeah,
Because everyone wants to use up their insurance.
True,
Yeah.
but the thing that I learned with orthodontic insurance is like it's a one-time thing. Once you use it, it's used. You can't unless you work for a new company and then you get new insurance.
Yeah.
then you have that, right? But
right.
for the most part, it's a lifetime thing. Like once it's done, it's done. That doesn't come back.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
like that one time you go all in. Okay, I
Well,
see.
the one time is going to be like $15,000.
Yeah, no,
So it's like,
for sure. Right?
It's not that crazy, but it does
can
it,
get that
it does
crazy.
get expensive. Yeah.
you've probably had a few cases where it's like $20,000 or more.
I cannot speak to those numbers. I
But
don't
I
think a lot
like
too.
personally, I know just from my loose like connection with that through Jane, where she just tells me like, yeah, there's some people out there who are spending like tens of thousands of dollars on their teeth, and I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense. If you have really messed up teeth, it could cost a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So other than that, like it's been pretty good. Been like busy with other things too, and
Yep.
it's been chilling. It's not chilling, but it's just been busy. It's been busy, man. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. So how was yours?
It was good. I actually went to see Tom Segura last night. at the Great Outdoors Fest, and that was a good time.
Except for the rain.
Except for the rain. The rain was very much the worst thing ever. But there is a nice little part to this where Jane actually bought these for us because she was like, I know you want to go see comedians. Like we missed a few of them that you wanted to see. So I'll get these for like us to go out for date night. And she actually got they sent her 2 sets of tickets. They sent her a free set of general admission tickets for the Sunday show as well. So I'm actually going tomorrow because we're filming this on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
So I'm actually going tomorrow as well, and there's going to be a bunch more comedians. Mark Norman,
You and
Dan
Jane are going
Soder.
tomorrow.
Me and Jane are going tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we are dressing.
Tell her to stay
way
home,
more.
and I'll come with you.
Yeah, I'll let her know. I'll be like, you,
Cooper,
can stay
and yes, I'm Jane.
home.
Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, my name's Jane.
I'll wear a wig too.
I'm his partner.
yeah.
Do you mind?
It's 2024, dude.
Like
you can wear a pink tutu and a crop top with your wig, and you'll be fine.
This is my Instagram.
Yeah, this is my Instagram.
Sir, is this you? Yes,
Do we
it
not
is.
look alike?
Oh man, that would be
How
hilarious.
dare you?
If
All
on-
video editing. Don't worry about it.
that would be hilarious for next
It's all
April
filters.
Fools. For next April Fools, I want to get you into a small crop top and a tutu, and I
God.
need Jane to like post it and be like, "Oh, I'm just out for a day." And it's like just April Fools right under it.
We'll do the food post she does with you, and I'll pretend to feed you a little cookie
Yeah. Just
crumb.
like a really hairy hand reaches over. Everyone's like, "Who is that?"
But her talking over it.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be pretty funny.
Oh,
Well, that's
man.
cool that you guys are going again tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that
going
is
again
pretty-
tomorrow.
that is actually kinda dope.
It was very fun. I did enjoy it. I was really tired yesterday only because it was a very long day. I woke up 5 a.m., still went to work, did all that, drove for like 5 hours. So at the end of the day, I can
Because
see
God
why.
forbid, when there's rain in Vancouver, no one knows how to drive.
Yep, no one knows how to drive. Nope.
Someone sees
And-
a range up or a snowflake, and they're like, Jesus.
Oh yeah,
Lord.
no, it's crazy. I got into a Tesla for the first time through Uber, and Jane has been telling me this for months, but Tesla drivers are horrible. Like the worst drivers. I don't know what it is, but this dude was thrashing the pedals. He did not know how to coast. It was either gas or brake for this dude. There was no in between. If his foot left the pedal, there was a problem with this
Well,
man because he
don't you
was
mean
gas
jewels?
brake, gas
There's
brake.
2 different types of Tesla drivers. One that doesn't know how to drive, and 2 who just speeds like crazy.
Yeah, this dude was basically just if he was not on if his front bumper was not 5 inches from your rear bumper, he didn't. I guess he just didn't feel comfortable because like he was just. It was either 0 or 100 with this dude, and it was just constant like jerking. And me and Jane wanted to just yak. I was like, she hates Teslas now, and I'm like, okay, you can't hate Teslas for
Yeah, you
their
can.
drivers.
Yeah, you can. Why
You
not?
can't hate a car brand for their drivers.
Hey, man, if people can hate guns for whatever, you can hate cars for whatever. Who cares, dude? It's 2024, bro. Let it rip.
I don't know, man, dude.
Let it rip, dog.
It's just that. That driver was horrible. That was a really bad ride. I wanted to puke. Don't get in Teslas; they're gross.
And on that note, let's get into god dang anime reviews.
Let's do it.
Let's jump
Let's
right
do-
in.
Let's jump into Wistoria right away because that was popping.
Yeah,
Mm.
a
That
lot
was
happened.
popping this
a lot
week.
happened.
We come off the rip with Will joining the Big Four. I guess they're the Big Four now.
The Avengers.
Because
basically.
Shion is a part of the club all of a sudden.
Yep.
So it was like where he wasn't, it was just the big three. And
Because
that
it was Liana, the elf, and then
Wingo.
Julius.
Julius.
And then
the name
Shion is like, I'm here too, guys.
Yeah.
And then they got Will and then Colette as well.
Colette just joined because she wanted to be with Will.
Yeah, Colette's like, hey,
We will join you guys. And he's like,
She's a goddamn like bench player, you know, that sixth man. That's what she is.
nah, she's just too clingy,
we
bro.
might need you, but just
There's who's in there?
We just
Look,
listed them.
it was-
Are you not paying attention?
no.
There's 5.
You're the
isn't
sound
there?
guy. You're
No,
supposed to be
the
listening.
Is there 6?
Shion, Wingle, Julian, Liana,
Julius.
pardon me, Will and
Okay.
Colette.
Colette.
I thought there was only 5.
No, there's 6.
Because
Maybe it's
Colette's
because
there.
I'm just disregarding Colette.
Well, yeah, because she
She's
doesn't.
Will and his +1.
She doesn't need to be there.
She really does. It feels unnecessary for her to be there.
She doesn't match up with those guys, man. It's crazy, but who knows? Maybe we'll see her pull off some crap like we normally see in animes. So,
Well, last time her clothes were almost half burnt off, so I'm interested in seeing if that'll happen again.
I don't think it will.
Oh,
Be something different.
that's sad. I just want her.
But anyways,
to lose more clothes.
they got into this cavern.
Bro, shut up.
What is wrong with him?
What is wrong with you? I'm trying to stop you from going off stupid tirades of things that you speak about. Like we are stepping in now. This is what we're doing, so it doesn't pop off to some lengthy ass thing from you.
I'm just messing around. Can we not have fun?
No, of course we can.
You know what? No, this is just
But
strictly
you
facts.
call us out for not stopping you, so this is what we're doing now.
Fine.
You can't tell us to, and then when we do it, you're like, this isn't fair.
It's called gaslighting, and I'm allowed to do it whenever the fuck I want. Okay, so
It's 2024. Let it rip.
It's 2024. Let it rip. Right? We're just getting right into it.
Oh god. Yeah. Anyways, they get into those caverns. They just rush off on their own. They're like,
3, 2, 1, go.
forget everybody else. We're popping in there.
Yeah.
We're just gonna. Lay
We
the
are
groundwork.
that group.
Yeah.
We can handle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like the search magic for the dungeons, which Will cannot do. Will is feeling useless at this point.
Well, Will can't.
Will
use
is
any
just
magic.
a pack mule.
Yeah.
They just basically want him for his like brute strength and his speed, and more importantly, his knowledge.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, Will, tell us. Shoot the eye. Got it. Cool. Thanks.
But they don't
Well,
even use that though.
They don't even. They never ask him. For
Yeah, no.
anything.
No,
Like,
They just like kill
Wingle
everything.
literally said that he's a useless shield, and then Liana was like, "Well, he hasn't been put into a situation where we need a shield." yet."
Liana's
Yeah.
the only one that wants him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what's the elf's name again?
Wingle.
Wingle.
I've said it like 5 times.
I don't know.
Said it 5 times. In the span of 3 minutes, I've said it at least 5
It
times.
doesn't sound right when you say it. I don't know.
It's like the Pokemon.
Because
Wingle.
I'm reading it. It's like, is that how you say it? I don't know. Whatever.
Or Wignall. I don't know. Like
Wignall?
No, that sounds a lot more.
Wignall.
Yeah.
Wingle. He's Wingle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wignall.
like no one really wanted Will there except Liana.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Wignall. Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, so essentially at the moment he's just kind of there, and everyone else is standing on business, and he's just like, "Hey guys, I'm here." And like Liana has said, he's not really put into a position where he has to elevate his game yet.
Right.
But they are still like, you're just the failure of the school, so we don't.
Will thought it was going to be like a cakewalk and we can just get points, but this dude has gotten very little points.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So he's kind of freaking out now.
yeah.
And then, dun dun dun.
They talk about fighting the floor boss
Bam.
They're talking about fighting
and how
the
strong
floor
he's going to
boss.
be.
Yeah. So for context, they're in the dungeons, and if I'm not mistaken, they are on floor
8 or 9.
Yeah, they're close to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to floor 10 because that's where the floor the highest point monster is.
Yeah.
And they just want to take that down.
That
and
they're
then work
allowed
their-
to get to.
Yeah, that they're
Yeah.
allowed to get to because there are further floors,
But they need
only
like
Tower.
only the tower what are they called?
Magia?
Magia.
Yeah.
Are allowed to go past level 10.
yeah.
Or I feel like you may need just special permission. They say that it's the tower people.
Yeah,
but
I think it's
kind of
more
like that
just
thing in
like
Hogwarts where they have the forbidden section in
exactly.
their library.
Yeah,
Yeah, and only senior year people can access them.
I think it's more of like, hey, are we allowed to go past here?
if you're Hermione Granger, you sure can. Like,
Or
go
if,
for it.
or if you have the invisibility cloak, then you can do it. But yeah, they are going towards kind of like floor 10. The group is kind of just, dogging on Will for being like, why? Or not even dogging, but more asking Liana in front of Will, like, why is he here? Like, and it's very apparent that, like, I think Liana sees something in him that the group doesn't.
Is like oversight.
Yeah,
the
but
rest of
then
the
but
group.
then at times I myself noticed that the group started to question Liana's judgment.
Well, Wignall did for sure.
Yeah, he
Because-
was like
because of that statement.
look, I know you're smart. Why'd you pick him?
Yeah, but
So-
she counterpointed.
No, and it's cool that she's like, look, give it time. When he is put into a moment, he will shine.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
They show off.
they showed off Liana's ability a little bit too, and how she was a part of like her family is a part of like a lineage of knights.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Yeah.
so that was kind of neat. I thought that was cool. They didn't do too much with her electrical abilities though. I don't know if you remember seeing, like they just kind of wrapped her in electricity, and that was it.
Well, I don't think they've really shown a whole lot of what they can actually do, other than Sion and
They
Julius.
gave us like a snippet.
Because Sion and Julius were in the festival.
Yeah.
Wignall, we didn't really see all that much until the end. And we haven't really seen what he can do. And then as well as Liana, where
They gave us a snippet this episode.
they gave us a snippet, but it wasn't. We haven't seen a full-fledged like fight with her yet.
right.
We need to see like
Which we'll
her
probably
go-
see in the next
Which we'll
couple
probably
episodes.
see in the
Yeah.
next
Because
episode. Yeah.
floor 11 is kind of crazy, apparently.
Apparently, it's nuts.
Yeah. And then we get introduced to like two dudes that are in there.
Yeah.
Some headless guy who's like writing things, and then some masked guy who,
So this is like the first time we're kind of seeing like the main bad people of the show.
is it?
That's how I have interpreted it. That this is the first time we are potentially seeing like.
I mean, you can't say that. We know you're reading.
Well, no, like I will say, even though I am like, I still don't know who they are.
Okay.
I myself don't know who these two individuals are.
So unlike Kaiju number 9 and Kaiju number 8, like we don't know enough about these Don't know enough about
and
these
like
characters.
I myself, just my own opinion, I have just called them like they could ultimately be like the end game bad group or bad people of the show.
I forgot
Okay.
what they called themselves.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
sure
find out.
it'll be said, but yeah, we get introduced to these two mysterious people, and off the rip, they are just like evil people.
Well, we know that because they slaughtered an encampment in the
Yeah.
last episode, right?
Yeah,
So we saw them go through, just start murking campsites.
Well, we didn't even see them murk anybody. It just showed like bodies. And
It
those
just
two guys.
it just showed
That's what
bodies,
that
but then
showed.
it also was like they also talked about it in their where the professors were talking and Snape ran
Well,
up
no,
to.
that wasn't them. They don't know that it's them. They just know something.
No, they don't know. Yeah.
monsters that are
But we
kind-
know as the viewer is what I mean that they have been killing people at the encampments and slaying professors.
No, we don't know that. We don't know that per se. We just know that they were there, and it could have been the monsters that did it. There's speculation. You could say you can speculate that they did something, but we don't know for sure.
I mean, would you think they would? You think that they wouldn't be able to handle like the level 10 monsters anymore if it weren't for these people who are going around? And didn't they show a clip of them?
Sorry, I'm a little confused.
They
What
showed
are
a
you talking
clip.
about?
So they showed a clip in the last episode
Yeah,
where the headless one was killing a student.
I thought he was killing a monster.
No, he killed a student. He cut a student's head off. That was in the last episode.
I swear I didn't see that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I really, really remember seeing the fact that he killed one of the students, and they
Okay.
talked about how they don't know the teachers don't know who's killing these camps, but I don't see it doesn't make sense that they would just be overrun by random monsters on level 10 if they already have done this prior and it's never happened before. So it only makes sense logically if you think about it that it's the headless one and whoever was with him. I don't know the other. There was another guy,
Yeah, there was another guy.
but I'm pretty sure that's the reason that the camps have been going down is because of him. And when they got down to
I don't think it's all because of him, but
and at the end of the near like
they'll
3/4.
explain it more. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
near the 3/4 of this episode, we saw that
it's
the level boss was dead.
yeah. Well, like okay, let's kind of get to that because you jumped like way ahead of that because it's more speculation with that at that point. That like you're speculating that those two guys are just killing all the camps, but realistically they're not. Most of it,
Because in this episode, Snape and
they go take off.
they go take
Wagner?
off. Okay, did they explain which camps were overrun?
Yeah, it was like
somewhat.
it was
Somewhat.
like 10. Or it was like 10, 9. I
Okay.
think it was like 10 and 9 or something like that.
Okay, let's pull back a little bit. Let's pull back a bit because from there, like what we're seeing now is they're getting to that monster. It showed those two guys.
Yep.
They got to the floor level boss.
Yep.
But the floor level boss was dead, and they were like, something just did this recently, and they're trying to use their magic thing, and then the big Balrog looking thing is like up in the sky, like blasts Wignall off. He like slaps him, and Wignall goes flying, right?
The old anime slapping the wall.
Yeah, literally. And then this dude like smashes the ground. This giant monster smashes there, and then they fall to the 11th floor. Is what happens. And then we cut back to the encampments, and we're seeing like Wagner on screen talking to some lady mage, and she's like, "Yep, we're overrun with monsters." Blah blah blah. Like there's 2 bodies pinned up that are professors whose heads were cut off. So like we don't know who's doing this, but somebody's inciting these monsters to go on riots and run the camps over.
Yeah. So I think both of you guys are correct, but there might be some
Right, but what he's speculating is that these guys are those 2 guys are just wrecking the camps, but that's not necessarily the case.
No, yeah, that's
Here you go. So this is the clip I was exactly talking about. Is sorry, it'll take 2 seconds, but they're killing the monsters, and then very quickly here you're gonna see those are heads of students.
Okay, sure,
right?
Okay, sure, but what you're speculating is they're going through all the camps and doing this, but they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
No, they're not going.
They're inciting monsters to run through the camps in like huge waves, and that's what's being overrun.
I don't know if they explained it. In one camp only is when the lowest camp, I think floor 10 is where the
Floor
bodies, floor 8
Floor 8
is where those are the only ones that they killed themselves.
Yeah, so floor 8 is where the flame lady mage is happening right now. And she's talking to Wagner like, yeah, our camp is overrun with monsters. And Wagner and Professor Snape are like over there, and Professor Snape comes running in. I don't know dude's name, so I'm just calling him
It's Snape from now on.
Yeah. He's coming running. He's like, we gotta save the students. Their exam is over. And they both run off towards like the lower levels. And then Will's boyfriend is like, oh, Will. And then they cut back to the floors, and everybody's just like separated at this point. And then Will and Wignall are together, and Will's trying to help him. Wignall's like, don't touch me.
So it's basically gone from like a school tournament thing, because that's essentially what this whole dungeon crawl was.
Yeah,
it's a group project.
To now, yeah,
that's what I call it.
To now, we have to get every student up because there is something happening.
Yes,
essentially, yeah. And I think the further down, and please fact check me, the further down from like 8, 9, 10, I believe those two.
Anything beyond 10.
Anything beyond.
No, but I'm talking 8 to 10. Those 2 guys are enticing the monsters to kill the camps, and then I think only one camp they're getting beheaded.
Something along the sure, yeah. I'll
something like that,
concede to that. Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, we know that these two people are kind of the ones who are doing it, because once they do show up at the final boss, what's there, it's dead.
Yeah, because like.
What I just
we just said. And then after that, they do fall into 11, and from there they're all split apart, and that's kind of where a little bit of they kind of go into Wignall's backstory, right?
Yeah, they do a little bit,
and we get to learn that he's a laggard, just like Will.
He only tells him that after like Will takes out a bunch of monsters, and Will tells him, hey, just handle that one. I'll handle all these guys.
Yeah, and it's like. It's like the cliche anime thing where even though you hate me, I'll still protect you.
Yeah.
And again, it shows Will's character. I want to say character growth, in the sense that even though he knows that like 99% of the group he's with hates him, he still like look like, I will protect you.
Yeah.
So like it's cool to kind of see, the fallout of that fight, and then Wignall be like, look, like I was completely wrong about you. You not only saved me, but you protected me.
Yeah, and then he was telling him his little side story.
Yeah, and then we get Wignall's
he's the will of the elves.
Essentially,
he's the will of
the elves.
Did they explain why he's
useless?
Useless.
No.
Okay. Just like a tiny bit. All we saw was like that girl that he grew up with basically was like, you're useless, and I guess cut off his arm.
The queen of the elves.
Yeah, like he apparently he couldn't even do elven illusionary magic.
Yeah,
at his age, but as a full grown teen he can.
Yeah,
which is okay. So like,
Slow learner.
so the whole arm thing is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what that's about, but he has his arm.
Yeah,
Like-
that one thing I was confused about as well. That
What
sentence.
arm?
Well, in this show, they like his arm got injured. Like Wignall's arm got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Will tried to help him out. He's like, "No, leave me alone." And then he kind of, as they're fighting things, he kind of has like a flashback to him being shit on by all the other elves.
Reprimanded, essentially, or
No, he's getting shit on.
Oh, okay, okay.
No,
He's
yeah,
getting-
They're
he's
like,
getting
they
shit
legit like dooking on him. Like,
true.
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
how they dookie on Will.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair,
exactly.
fair, okay.
And then like the girl that I guess he grew up with was like, "Yeah, you're useless," and like does a spell thing, and his arm goes flying off. In that, in his mind, it does. I don't know if that means anything or if it is legit.
True, yeah. It was kind of vague on what had all happened because
Yeah,
it was just
his
like
arm is there and it's functional. It's there and it's
100%.
functional, but in that weird flashback, his arm gets like cut off.
okay. I thought I might have been the only person who saw that, and
No.
I thought I missed something.
No,
and I
no,
was-
no.
I'm glad that you saw the
Is that like
same
an
thing I
anime
did.
thing, or that happened?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
It was a
Yeah.
very odd clip.
There was
We'll show you guys after.
Okay,
we'll,
deal,
we'll
deal,
show you
deal,
guys
yeah.
after. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
so
was a little weird.
Essentially, it sounds like the parallel, like drawing a parallel. Wignall had a girl that he grew up with, and Will also, but essentially, Will and Elfie.
Well, they were.
had-
It was more of like a mirroring of each other instead of a parallel.
Yeah, yeah.
It-
Thank you. That's
yeah.
a better way of explaining. But instead of Elfie and Will like having a stronger bond, this girl basically said, "Will, you're just useless. Don't talk to me."
Wignall.
Wignall, pardon me.
Get your characters together, man.
Will,
characters
Wignall,
together.
I'm sorry.
One's an elf, one's a human.
Exactly.
One's
How dare
useless,
you
one
confuse-
isn't.
Yeah, basically.
one's a dwarf, but
Is he a dwarf?
he's.
This is the spoiler shit.
It's not. They said he was a
This
dwarf.
is-
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
They did say he was a dwarf.
They called him a dwarf.
Yeah.
They didn't confirm he was.
They
a
said
dwarf.
he was dwarven-like.
Yes, because he can't use magic, but it's more physical. But it sounds like you're confirming he's a dwarf.
He's not a dwarf.
You can see the look on his face.
We'll
not.
we'll have to wait and see if this speculation
It's
is
actually
true.
not.
At this point, it's speculation.
It
we
is
have to view it.
speculation.
We have to view it on our own.
I
and
speculated
we'll
that
see.
he's
I
just.
speculate he's a dwarf. Still,
I
they
speculated
haven't
that.
confirmed it.
It's gonna be an Ichigo thing. He's a dwarf, an elf, and his
No,
mom,
and
mom was a half elf. His dad was a dwarf.
Yeah, yeah, and but then his estranged father, who actually trained him, was actually a real mage, and at the end, he's actually going to learn how to do magic.
He's a fairy.
He's a
So
Fairy man.
besides
no,
Andre,
that's his boyfriend.
besides Andre, here's a question for you two. What do you think is gonna happen next?
I don't know, man.
I think that's
Just guess.
Just guess.
At least just guess.
so they're gonna make it out. They're all six of them are gonna make it out of this, and then some plot is gonna happen to take down the shield, the big shield, the magic.
Will's gonna protect all of them, and they're gonna have found new respect, and they're gonna have their own crew called the Aluma Akatsuki or some shit.
Yep,
like
yep, 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 yep. And then the
Akatsu Illuminati.
and then the mirror's gonna drop, right? Or the dome's gonna drop, and then the magi is gonna go out. They're all gonna die except Elfie's gonna get
that was
taken.
the other thing we learned. Like the dome around this place is like failing slowly, and then the fire, the fire emperor or whatever is on some sort of mission, is what we learned this episode. Because the wand of the fire, fire
there's
mage is
something-
like in his place right now, and they're like, well, he was like, where's the emperor? And they're like, well, he's still on a mission. They're like, okay, so something's going on. It's kind of weird. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know.
building backstory, but it's very in the background. It's
Right
like
now, yeah,
such
yeah.
small little clips that we're getting and learning a little bit more about what maybe is going to happen and be the big like game-changing issue at the
Yeah.
end of this season. But for right now, we're kind of in the dark and we just have speculation.
They're not
So-
ready.
There is a lot. There is a lot that can happen in this, and like we might get just absolute insanity at the end of the season. We might not get it until
Well,
next
there's
season. We don't
two
know.
episodes. No, 3 episodes.
3
10,
episodes,
11,
yeah.
12.
Yeah. So we got 3 more episodes. So some crazy
But-
stuff can happen in 3 episodes.
Don't worry, we're gonna have a 9.5 episode where they have to recap things, and then we'll get episode 10.
I don't think this one.
I don't think it will.
I don't think. I think for Wistoria or for Elusive Samurai, it made complete sense. But for something like Wistoria, it's pretty straightforward, and the pacing is very well done.
Yeah, the season is almost over, so I don't think it's gonna have a
Yeah.
9.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Do you guys want to move on to Elusive?
Let's get into Elusive.
Yeah. How'd you guys like this episode? We just watched it.
It was a nice, silly episode.
It was a nice.
It was a nice, silly episode.
I knew this one was going to be kind of just a little bit of a standstill episode, only because we are coming off the heels of a
Big fight.
big fight and a recap.
I feel like that's normally what happens when we get that. It's, yeah.
It's pretty normal, and we did need a kind of a breather after what happened on episode 9.
Yeah.
Because episode 9 was a little bit crazy. There was a lot that was happening. This one was more of a funny one, but it also had a lot of world building.
Yeah.
Had a lot of world building.
Yeah. I would say so.
Learning more about the religious side of the history.
Well, this
in this
episode was
era.
definitely a little bit more like near the end. It got a little bit more philosophical. Basic, like the way it starts is with Sua is confessing to Hojo that his powers are gone, and there's certain things that he's done before where he got them back.
Yeah.
So he kind of gives him like these Herculean tasks to go like get stuff for him.
A list.
Yeah,
Essentially.
like
Just makes him a big shopping list.
yeah, he's like, get me some eel from Sua. So it's helped me before. Cooked a whole ass meal with unagi and was like, yeah, this is delicious, but it didn't work. So he just kept sending him on like random tasks to do stuff, fetching water, I don't know.
The water was the last thing, but like he
Rice
got him-
stuff
He
and-
was got him to get the vegetables, and then he was getting him to get the Shrine Maiden outfit and build like kind of a pseudo Shrine Maiden.
Yep. And his retainers
Advocate?
were like
Whatever you
looking
call
at
it.
all this, like, why did he ask all this? Oh, has he got a weird fetish thing going on?
Yeah.
Is this his kink?
Yeah.
They were like, what is happening? And Sue was just sitting there listening to them, like, not even correcting anything. She's like, yep,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a weird kid.
Yep. And all the time.
I don't think that was Sua in that. So when I looked back, I think that was actually one of the other. That was the
No, that was Sue. He was hanging out with them.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Okay,
he was
I thought that was a different
he was,
one of the.
he was with them watching the young prince gather these things while they were talking about him sort of behind his back, because the Hojo like definitely overheard them. Tokioki definitely heard them, and he started to lose his
I thought
mind.
it was a shrine guard.
I thought it was a shrine guard as well.
I think it was a shrine
Was it?
guard.
Okay,
as
okay,
well,
thank
because-
God. I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna be like, do I have to check another thing, because I don't know if I'm wrong or right on this, but I'm pretty sure it was a shrine guard.
Okay,
it wasn't
okay.
actually Sua.
Yeah.
Like there with them. So.
Because that would be really confusing to have Sua just
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's why I was a little bit confused. So yeah, it was just the shrine guard, but regardless, they get the Shrine Maiden costume and all this
The
stuff.
only reason why I say that is because when Hojo asked the shrine guard for the maiden outfit, the guard's like, "Why do you need the outfit?"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
exactly.
was confused. So I,
Oh,
It was that
So I
shrine
assumed
guard.
if it was Sua, it'd be like, yeah, sure. But like the fact that the guard was like, "Why do you need an outfit for the shrine maidens?" And he's like, "I just like to study the culture XYZ."
Yeah.
That I think for me, I was like, that might be a guard, but you might be correct. But it did really look like a guard. So
yeah, and then we see Hojo.
ripped to Sue and was like, "You need to explain yourself. I don't care
Yeah.
about this
he's
bullshit
like, "I'm being
anymore."
judged."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm not a pervert.
He's
I
like,
don't
"Oh."
do these things."
He's like, hold on, I need water, which is really what he said. That was his response.
Yeah, I think he just knew the whole time. He
Oh,
just
he did.
didn't like. This guy's such a sneaky little shit, man.
He's a weirdo.
He is a big.
He
weirdo.
has. It seems like he has his own intentions behind everything.
Yeah, he does.
Watch him be the true villain.
You know,
The twist.
that was
Take-
actually okay.
Take
the first couple
Ashikaga
episodes-
Takuji out of the picture by using the prince, and then he'll take over,
That would be 5.
and he'll reveal himself to be Nobunaga.
Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie. In the first couple episodes, because he seemed so like he was pushing the kid off the cliff. He was doing all this stuff that was like, why is this like shrine dude doing this? I almost speculated that he was gonna be the real villain, but I was
you
like,
never know.
you
It
never know.
could be that nice little twist at the end that
Right? Yeah.
you know, that kind of ties it in together. But yeah, so we got
If it is, you heard it here first.
yeah, straight up. Sorry, where were we at?
Going
Sua
to get the
needs
water.
Water, yeah. So he goes to this pond up in the mountain somewhere, and he finds the little shrine maiden girl. I can't remember her name now. Shizuku, dancing with lights. He's like, "What the hell's going on?"
Mm-hmm.
He's tripping out. And she's like, "Let me show you," and gives him a little kiss on the cheek, and awakens his eyes. And now he sees all like those spirits,
The divine
and the Botan, the pig thing that they killed, just sitting there laughing, talking with a dragon.
Yep.
Just- yeah, yeah. Did you not see that?
I was in the washroom.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
dooking up in there.
Yeah, I was in the washroom.
Yeah, but it showed all these spirits, and she was like, "Yeah, these spirits don't necessarily help us, but they like to hang around here, and so they kind of bless this water with your divine energy." And she's like, "This is probably what you need to take to him." So he,
So like a gathering hub for spirits.
yeah, in a
Nice.
sense.
Okay.
And then they went in this whole philosophical thing where like this was like the last era that people really believed in like divinity because things evolved over time, and like Suo just kind of explained like in the future like things aren't going to be like this, but we thought were natural phenomenons being connected to the land, believing in the spirit guardians or deities that bless these
The
things.
latter half of this episode got like really philosophical.
Yeah, and he was like, people eventually will like take to the more science approach and learn about like the science behind these things and forget about past things.
Yeah.
Which is where the power derives from, is what he was explaining in the show. So without people believing, there is no power to the divinity, is what he was
When
essentially
it
saying.
boils down, like there is some truth, but kind of behind what he was saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of just a religious take on the things. It's like,
Yeah.
if you believe in these things, like
Yeah.
with all the advancements in humans and how we've kind of gone to like societies and the land, we've grown more attached to the land. These divine beasts have fallen into the back, and it's like, okay, you kind of draw parallels between that and a lot of religious sects, right?
Yeah. It definitely spoke to like the times now, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And then he gets his like powers back from drinking that divine water. And then it gave us a little spec on what's his name, on Takuji, like Ashikaga, and his brother. I can't remember what his name is now.
Oh God,
Toshinori?
No, Takayoshi.
Takayoshi.
Yep.
Yeah. And how like they're very close, but they're complete opposites of each other
They're geniuses in their own field.
in their own right. Yeah. In the way they approach things and
But
do
then
things.
it seems that Takayoshi is like, yo, my brother might be actually fucking insane.
Yeah, because he's like, I want to show you a Buddha painting. And all it's shown was darkness and a hand just like waving him over. I'm like, yeah, that's not ominous, man.
Yeah, he like walks into the hut and he's like, wait.
They have some really weird art choices in this, but
I think it's interesting
It's very
art choices.
interesting, and they have interesting
very
ways of showing.
abstract.
Yeah, it is very abstract because they show so many weird kind of scenes to give you more of an idea of what's going on. The hand in the darkness calling.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's very ominous, and you get this weird feeling, and then afterwards we find out like with the painting around the Buddha, like he sees the Buddha as his prey and all this, right?
Yeah, the painting around the Buddha was interesting because like they didn't show that right away. They just showed the Buddha, and Takauji was kind of like explaining to him, this painting of Buddha makes me feel so calm and light and peaceful. And he's looking at it, and as he steps in, this I guess like symbology of the shadows coming to devour him kind of holds him back and strikes fear into his heart, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And he took a step back and was like, oh, we'll trade you some things, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
do this.
He's like, I'll give you some cedar for the wall.
He won't even
XYZ.
step in.
No.
Because
no.
when he's about to step in, he sees like the dark omnicity that is in that room.
It was also weird how the one brother was doing the painting like in the dark almost. But like
Tagoji?
yeah, but like the only light was just the Buddha light, but all around him was just like darkness
and company.
So like there was a lot of like
what
symbolism.
it looked like when they finally panned out was like it was a demon that was devouring Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it looked like.
it was weird, man.
Yeah,
It was weird.
and that's why the brother was like to his retainers, burn everything around this, keep the Buddha painting safe. That's it. Like let's
yeah, so even though they're brothers and they might share some commonality, you can definitely tell that Takayoshi, he was like he even said that
Takauji.
No, Takayoshi.
Takayoshi's brother. Okay,
he was
sorry,
talking
my bad.
about him, and he even said he's like, I don't know if my brother is even human anymore.
Yeah,
Just like,
he got
so
a little.
even though
terrified.
there is
You think
some,
there might be some betrayal that'll come of this?
I think I'm just saying, I think Takayoshi might try and find the Hojo child and be like, look, man, like
My brother is
brother is kind of insane, dog.
Yeah.
I'm just if it happens, you hit it here first.
To be fair, with this anime, I can't even. It's really hard to speculate because it goes everywhere. There's never a point where I'm just sitting there and I'm not surprised at where this anime just takes
Well, this
us.
is the first time in a while we've got any sort of story about the antagonists.
Yep.
In a few episodes.
Yeah.
So I think that's why right now it feels that way because we don't know because the focus has mostly been on Hojo, his retainers, building him up, trying to make him become a better leader. So when they go do the final fight, it'll be a thing, right? And this with Takuji and his brother, we get some interesting insight about how his brother feels about Takuji, and just where Takuji's mind is at, because he's finding this all normal
Yeah.
when it's not normal.
It's definitely
It's his normal. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. Like around him, people are like, "Dog, are you gay?" And he's, "Yeah, I'm fine." You know? I drew a great painting, and it's like, okay, yeah, exactly. Like, okay,
No, guys.
yeah. So I'm quite interested to see how their relationship as brothers bloom, and like maybe Takayoshi is like, you do you, man. I'm
Yeah.
okay. You are frightening. And seeing just how engulfed in this almost obsession with the Buddha, the one brother kind of like, how far and how deep is this obsession going to drive him in his search for the all-knowing Buddha?
Which was
thing.
actually kind of cool. I'm realizing now that that's like kind of symbolism for like the idea that you can stray far from the path and still think you're kind of on the right path.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
There's even in the religious kind of ideology that they've been kind of putting into this episode, you can see that this guy is still following Buddha, but surrounding him is complete darkness, right?
Yeah.
So you can still believe you're following something while also completely missing that you aren't.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm doing the right thing. Are you though?
Are you?
Are you? Yeah.
Even, right?
Do we want to talk about My Hero a little bit, or do we want to get into our big main topics?
We can get right into our big main topics. We'll come back next week with some My Hero stuff because I feel like there was a lot that happened, but mainly me and you are the only ones watching. We might do a short sack on that.
Yeah, we
Might-
could do that.
we can do that kind of stuff.
Okay. PS5 Pro got announced.
PS5 Pro.
PS5 Pro got announced, boys and girls.
The news of the year.
The
Dude,
epic,
I'm so
powerful
happy.
system that is the PlayStation 5 Pro.
This
that-
thing, but just with 3 more fins.
three more scales added to it. A lot of horsepower behind it.
Yep.
Something called super artificial retention.
PSSR.
It was some crazy ass long name. and
AI as well. We're kind of getting to that.
that's the AI portion of it.
Yeah.
That they announced, which was like, okay. I got
So on paper, this thing is beefy.
sure.
I mean, not really. Like, it's like, it's realistically, if you took the PS5 and gave it a little bit of a nice paint job, is what I think.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
just put in a new battery and
Literally.
you basically took your car.
maybe a turbo booster.
I don't even not even a turbo. They just changed the spark plugs and gave this thing an
good
oil
Lord.
change and put some new wheels on
Okay,
it.
the AI-driven upscaling thing is called the PlayStation Spectral
Spectral.
Super Resolution.
That's what it is.
Resolution. PSSR for short.
We're calling it the PSSR.
Say that 5 times fast.
No, I can't. I can't. So they're using AI to upscale other games' works, essentially. Cool.
Cool, dude.
And
Guys, again, on paper, this thing is sick.
okay, so let me just go through what they said that they got going on. Okay, so processing power GPU, it's supposed to be 45% much more powerful when it's rendering. I'm not gonna get into the stupid specs about it because if you're not a tech junkie, you won't give a crap realistically. It's just supposed to be like 45% faster than the current PlayStation.
But 45%
Enhanced
faster
ray
in
tracing.
what like in loading times?
It's for the GPU and CPU. I guess
Things load faster.
Like
You start a
Download-
game and it's just like on the
download
main.
speeds are supposed to be
menu.
better.
Yeah.
Things like
okay,
that, right?
downloads. Okay.
They just said enhanced ray tracing. So
Those beams of light are gonna look so good.
so sick, bro. Like you're gonna be able to see.
Does
some
anyone
little
use
details.
ray tracing?
I don't know. I think you said Ratchet and Clank did because that's what they
showcase.
showcased,
Yeah.
and you said that it was pretty
I don't-
damn good.
It's been a while, so I can't even.
no, I
recall.
know that was like when it first came out, but I remember you saying it was really well done.
I mean, Ratchet and Clank was really well
Yeah.
done. I just can't. It's been so long. I've played so many games that Ratchet and Clank is like so far behind me.
Right.
But again, yeah, it was a great game. It probably did have ray tracing.
So then they got the AI-driven upscaling, that PSSR, the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution Pro. Oh my god! And they're calling it pretty similar to NVIDIA's DLSS technology that does the upscaling. So it's supposed to just give you better like upscale the resolutions and
The revolution.
it's supposed to imitate native 4K. I don't know. It seems kind of silly. They said improved storage, so it's got a 2 terabyte drive. Whoop-de-doo. Like you just
2 tera. That's pretty significant in all
sure.
in all aspects. Considering the fact that 2 terabytes could hold quite a few games now.
Can hold Call of Duty 4 times.
And like better, they say that there's improved design. Oh yeah, like it's a lovely design.
Hey, if you're playing Call of Duty and you're complaining about storage, you don't need storage. All you play is Call of Duty.
yeah.
You need to play a different game.
Yeah, you can play a different game. Just
First
delete
of
the game.
all,
The compatibility and ecosystem. It'll play the VR2. It'll work with the DualSense Edge, the Pulse Elite headset, and any PlayStation 5
Wait.
games.
It's gonna work for all the prior accessories.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like,
Wow.
should that not have been a given?
holy cow.
Why do you need to mention that unless
Did you know all the games that were on the regular
the
PS5?
PS5 controllers will work with a Pro. Really? Thanks, dog.
they're getting game boost features and backward compatibility with this one. So the game
How backwards are we? Are we?
they're
going
saying
with?
8,500 titles or more than 8,500
like
titles.
to what?
So yeah, like
That you'll see-
PS4, 3, 2, like
No,
how
just
far?
PS4. Oh,
PS4,
sorry,
PS4.
just
See,
PS4.
like that's one
But
thing.
PS3, they do have PS3 games that you can stream through their.
I know
through
there's
their
like
titles.
3, 2, 1 games you can stream.
Yeah,
But it would have been.
I mean, do you have PS3 games?
I have a PS1 game still.
You have PS1 game that you want to play?
Yeah, but I don't think it's on the PS Now. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
like for the Pro, I would have thought they would have had that.
No.
I don't think that'll ever happen. Only
No.
because
No, yeah,
because
yeah.
of the we already know that Sony has had issues. Like
Yeah.
their operating systems have been proprietary and they've never followed just regular.
I have heard though that the streaming thing, the PS Now, sometimes it can be a bit like meh.
Oh, it's not that great.
Yeah,
Don't get me
so-
wrong. It's the same thing that you can argue with any gaming streaming.
Yeah.
Like there's always a slight delay,
Of course,
some slight
of course.
lag, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
All right, we're not talking about PlayStation
done
Plus
that
here,
part.
guys.
Yeah, go ahead, go
Stop it. We're going back to PlayStation 5 stuff.
Can't even have fun anymore.
No,
Can't
you
even have
can't.
fun anymore.
Shut
It's
up.
I'm telling
If
you.
you guys go off on tangents, trying to pull it back here for Pat so he doesn't do it himself and lose his mind over
Pat
you
just
guys.
looks like he's slowly gonna pull a gun and just put it to the side of his head. Just like throughout the
God.
episode, he's like, "Stop talking."
But so back to that game boost thing. It's supposed to be for the PS4 games. It's supposed to enhance those and make their perform like you'll see higher frame rates with them and improve resolution, which is something another company's already done. Xbox, Microsoft.
Oh, yeah.
They've had that in their consoles from day one with the new series when they announced the series stuff.
What took you guys so long?
Yeah,
I
Sony
mean, at
feels
the
like
end of the
Android
day-
at this point.
I mean, so Sony's Apple.
No, they're not because they're playing catch up with Microsoft.
That's what Apple does.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Apple's
Oh, I
never
see what
cutting
you're saying.
edge technology. They just come out 4
Sorry,
years later.
no, yeah, I misunderstood.
Okay.
Yeah, I misunderstood. And then we get the price.
So this is the giant debate that everyone has.
Then we get the price for this bad boy. Okay, it's $699 USD, $699.99 USD. What does that translate to in CAD? It's about $950.
I have a picture.
It's about $950 Canadian.
So
for barely any upgrades.
$959 CAD and $1,075.19 with the eco fee and after tax and everything.
Now this is $950 for just the system, a controller,
$959.
charge cables, HDMI cables.
Yeah, that's just the base.
No stand, no disk drive.
So that's another thing that people are.
Wait, that's digital?
it's
only digital.
Wait. You didn't know that?
I didn't. Wait, what?
Oh my God. I'm so.
Wait, it's only digital?
It's only digital.
Damn.
They don't want you to own your games.
Holy sh.
However, they said if you have an existing disk drive, you can hook it up to that, or you can buy a separate disk drive for $180. And it has
Wait, for 180? Because I heard it was 80, or is that 80 USD?
no 80s for the stand.
Yeah. No, the disc drive's
Oh.
expensive. I knew the disc drive was like $200.
PS5 disk drive.
No, you're right.
I'm pretty sure. It's,
I believe him for sure. I just didn't really.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up the price for the disk drive on that.
That's crazy. The fact that they are releasing a pro generation console.
Sorry. So right now it's $100.
Okay.
Right now it's $100.
Okay.
But things have been going up.
Is that USD?
No, this is Canadian for the disk drive. Canadian for the disk drive. It's $100. But things have been going up in cost.
I guess.
As soon as they announced that, PlayStation 5 controllers went up by another $10.
That was a sneaky thing that they did.
yeah, and they didn't announce that.
They didn't announce it.
They did not announce that.
So
And what does that say on there? Out of
It's out of
out
stock,
of stock.
right? Yeah.
So
and you want to know why? Because they're probably going to come up with a second generation one for the PS5 Pro.
yeah.
And it's going to be $200.
yeah. So controllers, black and white, I think are now what they were 89. They're like about like 95. Every other color now
Is $99.99.
after tax and everything is 111. If you want the warranty, which I'm sure everyone will now, grand total of 124.
People won't buy a warranty on that thing.
No, well, I don't know because it's like if you buy $100 controller,
Oh,
these things
don't get me started on controller.
they're just gonna die.
No, like it's people are stupid. They
You're
think
not wrong.
they think manufacturer's warranty. That's fine. And then they'll come back 2 months later. It's like, oh yeah, they won't cover it. Can you replace it for me?
No.
Did you buy the warranty? It's like no.
No, and
then
that's what's
fuck
gonna
off.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what's
Then
gonna happen.
please
to a
turn
lot
around.
of
But yeah,
people.
you didn't know
People-
it was straight.
I did not
digital,
know that. No,
yeah.
I'm very surprised because I mean, now that you say it, it does make sense that they put a 2 terabyte on that because you really are just going to need storage space because it's all going to be downloaded now. I mean, everything is downloaded at the end of the day, but still,
Like I can see
that's
this being
crazy.
the first of Sony getting into the all digital era, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get that's where things are going, but to come out with a new system that people have been speculating and then drop no stand and diskless is kind of crazy in my opinion.
It is a little bit wild because personally, I still do get discs. I prefer discs because I like the cases. I think
Well, there's that, and when you beat the game, you can return it and put it towards something else.
not even just that. Like that's a memento for me.
Yeah.
That's a memento of a game that I maybe if I'm holding on to that game, that's a memento of a game that I truly love.
So now it begs the question: are like collectors, are those kind of gone? Were like ultimate editions, collector's editions?
No.
No, it's probably
Collect-
gonna be just the
It's
code.
game codes.
Oh,
In
that's
every
right. Yes,
collector's
yes.
edition, it's
Thank you.
already
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
digital, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't even
PC
get.
does it.
And
So,
every
like,
console does it. I don't think there is a console like there has been a collector's edition released in the last
I
4 or 5
forgot
years.
that. Like, yeah, they
that are
do
just game codes.
a code now. Yeah. Because like,
do you remember, Sheldon? Do you remember any games that came out with a physical collector's edition, like a physical game in the collector's edition, in like the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years, oh man, I don't know about
Wasn't
last
it
5
Borderlands?
I would
3?
say-
But I think
Borderlands 3, no,
Yeah,
it was a game
'cause-
code
No, maybe I don't know
because I got it and
Um,
it was a game code.
because I think it started.
Call of Duty.
No, Call of Duty, even Black Ops 4 was a game code. Really? Wow. Yep.
I can't really speak to like the last
Way
5
back in the
years, I'll be
day,
honest with
yes.
you.
Lately, no.
So if
Exactly.
we're talking the last 5 years, I would have to say it would be God of War, or Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man.
First Spider-Man was a game code.
No, it wasn't.
It was a disc.
Wasn't it?
No,
It was a disc.
Maybe it was a disc. Okay, maybe
It
I'm
was on
wrong.
PS4.
Maybe
The Spider-Man 2 was a code.
that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
2.
but PS5 era, that's when they started doing the digital codes.
Yeah. So collector's editions are just going completely codes. We're getting into this all digital era now. Like with it, at this point, it's either change with the times or just get left in the dust. Because I think Sony is now putting their foot down and being like, okay, well, this is the last stand. Because if you're releasing a pro generation console that's $1,000 without a disc drive.
Sorry, I was just looking something up. I was trying to find like what their sales were for the disc drive consoles versus their digital consoles, and something popped up where the disc drive PS5 disc drive sales have surged in the last like 3 days by like 80%.
I've had people,
which is not surprising.
It's for resellers.
No, no, for sure.
I've had people come.
I feel like it's more people who were waiting for this mid-generation life cycle, who maybe hadn't hopped on the PS5 yet and saw that it's a digital console and said, you know what, since it's only digital, I want a disc drive. So there's probably a portion of people like that.
I'm gonna say it's mostly resellers that want to
so?
profit.
The amount of people that.
But do you think they're not going to stop selling them though? Like the PS5 regular editions, like the disc drive ones, they're not going to stop selling them.
The regular ones probably they'll just upsell for price because it's probably going to be sold out after the refresh comes out. They're probably not going to sell the base one.
You think it's just going to be pro?
Probably.
No, they usually do a pro and
usually do
slim.
a pro.
They're not going to alienate their players. I mean, you're going to be forcing people just to buy the pro is crazy.
I don't think
people won't buy
They
it.
don't have competition. They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's
Okay,
possible.
well, they're going to be dead in the water at that point.
Yeah, people will just buy the regular digital.
They need to have a cheaper option along with their expensive option because they're going to see a decline of sales with their more expensive option. Like no average person is going to buy a $900 console, bro. It's not happening.
I don't think.
They would rather go with at that point, you're going to see their competition surge. They're going to leave the Pro behind, and they'll go to Xbox, which is a better option at that point.
Look,
or they'll go to the Switch.
That's the updated PS5. Right? That's the updated version. That's the version they're going to sell. They just refreshed that, last year?
Last year.
They're not going to discontinue
and it made the money.
And they're not going to discontinue it. So that's going to be on sale for sure. Even if the prices surge, or if the sales surge, that thing is still going to be on the shelves. For sure. There's no way that Sony is just going to be like, pay us $1,000 or just don't get a console.
So it's
I think
bad business.
For me,
it's bad business. If they did that, they're so out of touch. They're gonna kill.
They would kill profits.
You never know with companies. Like
No. I don't. They'd be really dumb to do that, dude. That's like huge oversight.
Well, I'll find out. And when it comes out.
No, who's buying their consoles? It's not just rich people. It's average everyday people. You're telling me that they have no problem eliminating that portion of their player base?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Like once it comes out, I'm positive because they've done this in the past. Even when you look at every single console that they've released, they always have a much cheaper version of it.
Well, I'm sure. I would say like in a more affordable.
Or a more affordable, like a much cheaper version than their Pro models that they sell alongside it. You look at PS4, PS4 Slim, right? Or PS4 Pro, PS4 Slim. You look at PS3 Slim and PS. Was there a Pro version? No. But there was like
the Pro stuff. The Pro stuff only started with the PS4 era.
Yeah, but they gave. For the PS3, I vaguely remember there was sizing for the a bigger storage size.
I'll tell you what they did with the PS3 because I remember it very, very vividly because we were trying to get one. It was almost impossible. So the PS3, when they first came out, were the fat boys. They had 3 different sizes. They had like a 40 gig, a 60 gig, and an 80 gig. That's what they did. And then eventually they brought out like a 120 gig for that. Now the only things with those is like the 120 gig was not backwards compatible. The 80 gig was emulation backwards compatible for PS2, PS1 games. The 40 gig and the 60 gig were hard. Their hardware was built in. It wasn't emulation. It was built into their hardware to play backwards compatibility.
Right. You are right. I remember this.
See, I'm telling you, I remember this vividly. And then they did the slim models, which weren't backwards compatible at all. And then they did an extra slim model. Which was it looked like garbage. It looked like it was the cheapest piece of crap they put out.
But even when they were selling the the newer ones, there was always like usually 2 different models you could buy
Well,
at the same time.
at that point, they kind of just eliminated their older models once they did the. But I mean, they did price drop them, but they're like, this is the new focus.
Yeah, this is
with,
the new
with
one. But
this
the price
stuff,
drop,
it was like PS4, PS4 Pro, or
Yeah.
PS4 Slim, and then PS4 Pro. And I don't know.
enough,
To
fair
me,
enough.
it felt like buying the Pro for the PS4 made sense.
Yeah.
because it was
a big upgrade.
it was like it doubled the speeds.
And like even the PS4 Pros suffered from the same overheating issues that the regular PS4 did, but at the same time, I feel like it was better at cooling because like those OG PS4 models were
Well, I mean, when you played God
Airplanes.
of War on a PS4 Slim, it sounded like a jet engine was taking
Exactly,
off.
yeah.
Where you played on the Pro, it wasn't a problem.
Yep.
It was not a problem. But I'm like, we look at the PS5 Pro, comparing it to the Slims, it's not that much of an upgrade.
What is
It feels like
your
an Apple.
hot take, your hottest take right now for the PS5 Pro?
It's not going to sell how they think it's going to sell. I don't.
I don't even think that's a hot take.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. The internet is just shitting on it. I don't think there is a hot take for the Pro, man. People are looking at this and like, why do we need this?
Yeah, it really.
It's not a significant upgrade. It's not. To Sony, it might be, but I think I heard something like maybe you were saying this, but what they're offering is not enough. It's like 3-4 years behind where we're at.
Okay, in the video game, in especially console video game market, I feel like it's got to be like 90% of the player base. Maybe not that that exaggerated, but it's like 70-80%.
And I
are
think-
casual gamers.
And I think this is why Xbox didn't bother to put out a more enhanced version of their
Yes.
X, because they would have by now. This is what they did with the Xbox One.
Yep.
When Sony announced the Pro, they're like, "Oh, Project Scorpio," and it was the Xbox One X.
Yep.
But they didn't see that many sales on it. People were like, "It's not that different from the slim models that you guys just put out."
Yep.
Like it was cool. They were like water cooling or vapor cooling, cool, but it wasn't that much of a difference. And PlayStation is now at that point with the PS5 Pro. I don't see any reason to upgrade unless mine dies
yeah.
for some reason. Then I'll grab one.
Okay,
Well,
let
I
me
have-
rephrase. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say 3 things. Number 1, to get to your guys' point about resellers, the amount of people that I've had come into the store and ask for a PS5, and I tell them that we only have the digital one, and they turn around and don't even like question it and leave the store. That tells me alone that people are only looking for the disc one.
I mean, that's just one side of the market, though. I mean, like
True, but
I would say in
I guess
different,
like that's my own
wanna
different
say
regions, they're
experience.
probably different with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably regions
then-
where they just want to go digital.
But what I was saying before ties into this as well. Like I said, like 70-80% of these players are casual gamers.
Yeah.
How many of these people are actually want to buy $1,000 console to play COD? Right? Like some people are spending $700 just to play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
We know it because we've been.
Some
we've
people
been in
go
this.
to the lengths of buying a certain controller or a certain keyboard and mouse just
exactly.
for COD.
But at the end of the day, are these people going to be like, I really need the pro model to play my Call of Duty?
Yeah.
It's such a niche market that you're trying to grasp at.
Yeah.
And if you're going to try to sell to this market, at least make it valuable for that market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to go on to you guys' point again for or I think all of your points, I sent a link in the Discord, but Sony is reselling refurbished PS5s for half the cost of the Pro, which cool, but the fact that they're refurbished is insane to me.
It should be half the price of the.
Of the normal one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So they're half the price of the Pro. And my last thing, you guys were talking about like there's no real leap in technology here. The amount of people that I've seen online talking about like if they should buy, and this is just my own experience buying a Steam Deck because I have one. The amount of people that I've seen be like, oh, should I buy one? XYZ. And Valve has actually come out and said like, we aren't going to make a Steam Deck 2 unless there is a huge gap in technology that would benefit you from buying a Steam Deck 2. So for Sony to be like, we're just kind of giving it a new paint job and like some like few internal things and then jacking up the price, no stand. It's just like none of it makes sense. And like you guys said, like there is maybe 4 people on this earth that are like, I need the Pro.
Well, the thing is, I have personally, I have the Spider-Man edition one.
Yeah.
The PS5.
Yeah,
and it's the OG. So that's like the original PS5.
Yeah, but
right?
I mean, like if it turns on and runs, then
I wouldn't trade that thing in unless you're giving me a damn big upgrade. There's no point for someone like me. I buy Sony's consoles every single time. Right?
Yeah.
I never bought the PS4 Pro personally, but I was at the time playing more PC games. Now that I'm playing a lot of PS5 games and I really enjoy playing my PS5, I see zero reason for me to get this. There's no reason.
Let me rephrase my hot take question.
Sure.
What would be your advice to someone looking to buy a PS4 Pro? No, PS5 Pro.
PS5 Pro?
Yeah.
I'd say get yourself a regular PS5. I mean, unless you're balling out of control.
Like they're like 100% set. What would be your advice?
Get the console. I mean,
Well,
at that
I mean,
point,
if they're 100%
Like-
set, like how are you going to deter them?
No,
if
like,
you were I think what that means, like if they were dead set, what would just be
Buy a disk drive.
it'd be buy a
essentially.
disc
Buy a
drive. I
disc
mean,
drive.
you're already spending $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
What's the extra
See, okay,
$100
here.
or $200?
When people come into the store and they want to buy a PlayStation Portal, first thing I ask is why? And they go, how come? I go, you can buy one. That's completely fair. But what is your legit reason for buying this?
I want one
and
really
if they
bad.
go, my PS5 is upstairs and I just want to be able to lay in bed and play my games, I say then just move your PS5.
I mean, that's fair enough. For me personally, my PS5 is right in front of me, but the way my room is orientated and the way I've tried to reorganize it, but there's no way to get it where I can lay in bed and actually play. I have to sit up. So I would get a PlayStation Portal just for the sheer fact that I can lay in bed and just lay there and play video games. Because I love playing on the Switch, right? I love playing the portable version of the Switch more than I like playing on the big screen.
Yeah.
Just because, I can lay in bed. It's more comfortable. I can spend time with Jane. I don't have to sit on my couch, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, it makes complete sense. I've wanted one for a while. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. But it's something for me that I would be. It's more useful than an upgrade for the PS5 Pro.
At this point, but
If you
go
had
back to what you said, if someone came in and they were dead set, I would be like, you're probably wasting your money if your PS5 Slim gets the job done. But at the end of the day, it's your money, dog.
It's your money.
Do you, man?
You do. If you have,
But I would give someone my honest thought.
If you're,
My hot take would be just buy a PC.
I mean, that's fair. I would say,
Yeah,
if
you're
somebody
gonna
was,
spend
I mean,
$1,000,
well, I mean, that's what I think that's what a lot of like tech people on
I've said
YouTube are
that.
saying at this point
just
too.
buy a PC.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
spending that much, you might as well buy a PC that will get you a better graphics card, better performance, better
Yeah.
like everything realistically at that point.
for the same price.
Because if
Yeah.
you just buy a PS5 Pro, say you want an extra game and you want an extra controller. Games nowadays run you $89 after tax, about $100. Extra controller is about like $124. You're almost running $1,300. At that point, you
might
could
as well
build.
just
You
buy
could build a
PC.
really good PC.
Yeah.
The takeaway that I usually get when people say just buy a PC, but like I have to buy a monitor. Don't you have to buy a TV when you buy?
It's true. You need a TV. Well, most people
can
have
plug-
TVs, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like a lot of people would like a monitor, but at the same time, you are right.
You can
like,
you can play your PC on a goddamn
You
TV.
can play your
That doesn't
PC
fucking
on a
matter.
TV.
Like,
You
it
might
is-
have to like
possibility.
work a bit more to, if you have to buy a desk, XYZ. I understand that, but the outcome of a PC far exceeds a PS5 Pro.
Or if you really don't want to and don't mind handheld, just buy a Steam Deck or like the ROG Ally.
yeah,
Because they'll have better performance than the.
yeah, no,
I have a pre-built Acer Nitro. It is a pre-built Acer gaming PC that was $1,100 when I got it 8 years ago. It still runs games today.
yeah.
I can't run ray tracing, sure, but I'm like 8
You
years down
can't
the
see
road.
shadow particles.
I can't see shadow particles, dude.
Loser.
I can't see the light raining down. Oh my goodness. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna turn my $700 regular PS5 on and I'll get whatever.
But yeah, that would
Graphic
now that
efficacy I'm looking for.
I'm thinking about it. That would be if someone came in and they were dead set, I'd be like, just take the money and go buy
PC, Steam Deck,
Yeah.
ROG Ally,
Yep.
you'll probably be better off.
Because
that
now
way.
the Rogue Ally X, I think like base is like $1,000, so you're
$1,000.
basically paying the same. And like I've heard it's light years better than the OG one. So
yeah.
but yeah,
There's a lot of other alternatives out there now, but at the same time, I just think this is a flop. I think we all think this is just a flop for Sony.
This will be a flop. I 100% believe it is going to be a flop for Sony.
I don't think they really should have released this. Honestly, it's not really worthwhile for most people.
I don't think it's worth calling a pro.
No, and it's kind of sad because they boasted this like 4K resolution thing that the
But it's gonna be
whatever they want to
AI.
freaking call it. Yeah, the spectral resolution thing, but it's to upscale it to 4K without losing frames. I'm sorry, but Microsoft's the Series X has from
Native 4K.
right out of the gates, native 4K at 60 frames up to 120 frames.
Yeah,
Native.
not upscale.
this might be a rare Microsoft W.
Well, Microsoft's always had the edge when it comes to their consoles.
Technology,
Their
yeah.
hardware has always been
For a software company making hardware, they have pushed them. Sony's a hardware company, not a software company. They should have had better software right out the gates. with this. Hardware out the gates.
I
with
mean,
this,
to
but
be
they
fair,
didn't.
so is Microsoft, right? Microsoft has that they've always had that hardware, right? The PC hardware, all of their stuff that they've designed.
Not necessarily. Like the
do you mean?
360. Like we look back, like PS2, Xbox. PS2 was a better console.
The thing
PS3,
is-
360. 360 was outsold PS3 because developers liked it was a lot more friendlier to develop on.
Yeah.
Compared to the PS3 because the PS3 had that stupid.
It was its own.
GPU chip, which people hated. I can't remember what it was called.
It was
now.
also their own operating system that was not the same.
Well, the 360 was too at that point. They only changed to like a Microsoft based software
Fair enough.
platform with the Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
That's when they were like, it's going to be like same family ecosystem, so it's easy to transition from one thing to another.
Well, how
blah,
many
blah, blah.
people actually buy Sony to play PlayStation game? Just for the hardware itself. Most
It's true.
people buy Sony, like PlayStation, to play
Right.
Sony games.
Yeah.
Not even so. I wouldn't even say Sony games. I'd
Like
say they.
PlayStation games.
I
in
think
general,
a
right?
majority of PlayStation owners honestly buy PlayStation for the name,
Like
for name recognition,
Mm-hmm.
and to play Call of Duty. That's a big
So,
Because-
I just want to put it
Of
into
their players.
perspective.
because
Like
360 was like the console for like
A while.
for a
long time.
while for like
Yeah, it wasn't until near the end of the life
Yeah.
cycle people like PS3s really started picking up.
yeah.
you know where I see there's going to be actually a big there's going to be a big sale for or not a big their sales are going to jump for the PS4 Pro. I think I want to say that they're hedging their bets on GTA 6. I want to say they're hedging their bets on
who
it.
is-
Sony.
No, I don't think so.
I think they
that's
released
that's going towards every platform, like both PlayStation
Oh.
5 and Xbox.
No,
I don't think
it
they're
is.
hedging their bets on that.
No,
man.
no, it is. But what I'm saying is this Pro doesn't feel like it's like enough for people to upgrade. I think they're hedging their bets on these really big games.
Play
such as
GTA 6 on the new PS5 Pro.
Bang.
Yeah.
Play GTA 6 on the new PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
People are going to buy it for that because they're going to want to see GTA 6 in the best quality that they can, right?
I guess so.
I
but-
think they and
I mean, if you
especially
want the
coming
best
hot
quality
off the
possible,
heels.
buy an Xbox.
I mean,
PC.
true.
I mean, you want to wait 4 years?
Yeah, that's fine.
But remember, these people have name recognition. It's Apple at this point, right? Sony is comparable to Apple in the video game industry. And you can say Switch to a certain extent as well, or Nintendo, but like at the same time, Sony has name recognition over Microsoft right now. Way more. PlayStation's always done that, so.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Okay, we have 5 minutes.
All right, we want to quickly go over Apple.
Oh yeah, you want to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, we got the-
iPhone 16.
So September 9th we got the Apple keynote. New iPhone 16 came out. I feel like this is the year of just like skipping the new models because they don't really do a whole lot.
I'd say the reverse. I'd say last year's model was.
That's because you have a 13.
No. If you compare, okay, wait. Hold on.
Because you have a
From-
13, bro.
You have a 15.
I have a 15 Pro.
You have a 15 Pro.
Yeah.
Right. There's a much from 14 to 15. There's zero difference.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me a difference between them?
No, because I had an iPhone 8 before that.
Okay, so iPhone 14
for me,
to 15.
a 15
they're-
Pro was like
I take back
a brand new world, man.
what I said. You make sense.
I felt like I was crawling out of a cave and like, oh, this is
Okay,
technology.
so for you, it is a big
Yeah.
change. But if you're looking,
I was like, oh my god, what is all this?
if you're looking year over year from the 13 Pro to the 15 Pro, the only big difference is it has a slightly faster processor, and it has
then new button.
no from the
Yeah,
13 to
the
the from the 13 to the 15.
Yeah.
Oh, which button? Wait. Oh, yeah. You have the action
button.
Right.
Yeah.
So 15 had an action button. This one has the camera button.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a new some new features.
But
that
the
are
camera
going along
button is
with it.
just like,
Honestly, it seems pretty cool.
it's cool, but it's like you can just simply do this and your camera's open.
No, 100%. It's not just for that though. Like, look, like,
Put her there. Like, look, I love Apple stuff.
wait.
But-
It's not just that though.
So what do you mean?
It doesn't just open the camera. It's not just like purely open camera.
no. Sorry.
But-
But like you can open the camera with the button, but the button does do a whole lot. I
It's
get
just
it.
the continuation of Sony.
Yeah.
But like
Technology.
it's just personally, I think if you have the 15 Pro or Pro Max and you don't really need all the new camera features of the 16 Pro and Pro Max, there's no real reason to upgrade. That's just my that's just my personal
No, fair
opinion.
enough. If you have the 15, right, and I don't think Sony does this for people. This is not for people who bought
Apple.
the 15. Or sorry, we're just talking
Same,
about Sony
same.
so much.
Same thing.
Apple,
Yeah.
isn't making this phone for people who have the 15.
No.
They're making this for people who have, like me, the 13 or the 14.
Yeah. Or, and see, this is where I think it matters. Or if people maybe want to get into photography or filmmaking, this is, if you don't want to go out and buy a Sony cinematographer camera,
Yes.
this phone is perfect.
Yes, 100%.
Because in like, you can do, I think like I can't remember all the
You
specs.
can do 4K 120.
Thank you. Yeah.
How much is this?
slow-mo.
Slow-mo
Yeah.
4K.
How much is this phone?
This phone is coming out.
No, how much?
The Pro, the Pro model is the one that can do the 4K 120. So the Pro model, I want to say it starts at like 1600
Why don't I just buy a DSLR by then?
because you need a phone and you're going to spend $1,000 on a phone, and a DSLR is going to be a lot. If you want a good DSLR, it's going to be a lot more than the $600.
Because then you have to buy the body and the lens.
Bang, lenses way more expensive. This has it has it all built in. You can actually change your aperture your f-stop on the fly using that camera button, which was really cool. There's
so
tons of
again,
different
like
settings with that.
this is really good for people that want to get
Okay,
into.
you want price points, man?
I do.
I'll give you price points. I'm gonna just do the biggest, or I'll do the middle ones. I'll do the middle.
It's Pro, just
storage.
do Pro and Pro Max.
So base iPhone 16 is gonna be for 256 gig is $12.79 Canadian.
Wolf.
Okay.
Wolf.
For their Pro for a 256 gig, I'm gonna give you 256 gig and a 512 because the 1 terabyte is crazy.
Oh, God.
256 is $15.99 Canadian.
God.
512 is $18.99 Canadian
That makes
for the
sense.
Pro.
If you're trying to get into photography,
You,
buy a
you know what?
DSLR.
I'm gonna just
Wait,
tell you.
hold on.
Let me
Wait.
let me tell you the 1 terabyte. I'm gonna just tell you 2,200 for the 1
Hold
terabyte.
on. No, don't buy a DSLR. What's a Sony A4 cost?
Hold on. We're not. We'll get into cameras.
Oh,
Okay,
like
yeah.
For, you guys can get into cameras. We're talking about the iPhone right now. Okay. For the Pro Max, a 512 is 2,050.
Yeah.
2,050.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 terabyte is 2,350.
Mhm.
This is crazy, man.
It's not.
That's
Okay, hold on. This is what you got. You guys are
Okay, wait.
Sheldon, do you need the 1 terabyte?
the 1 terabyte price is probably the same price as the lenses for the Sony camera.
Lenses. Hear me out.
The body, I think, is like
Sheldon,
$4,000.
for your average for
I
your
can buy 3 PlayStation 5 Pros
Sheldon,
for that price.
Sheldon, for your average.
buy 3 PlayStation 5
No, you
Pros,
can't.
though.
No, you can't.
let's.
They're 1,000
We
a
have
pop.
a minute. We have a minute.
Two.
Shit, give us an extra. Well, give us an extra 5. Give us an extra 5.
I have to go soon, dude. I have work.
Okay. But to be fair, Andre is right. So the iPhone 16 Pro being that price isn't for you. This is for somebody who wants to get into photography or
Buy a camera.
Buy a
how
camera.
much is a Sony A4? It's $4,000, dude.
But you're an intro photographer. You're not gonna buy a $2,000 fucking camera or even a phone.
Any DSLR, the cheapest DSLR that you can buy that's not a crop sensor is still above $1,000.
Yeah,
just for
buy
the
a Canon
body.
TI3
Just
Rebel,
for
man.
the body.
Buy a Rebel.
Buy a Rebel, dude.
You can buy
Buy
a
a-
Rebel, but that's the thing. If you want something that's even better than a Rebel, this is it. It's better than a
But
Rebel.
you're not
It has-
buying an iPhone to get into photography, man.
That's the
so.
thing.
I mean, if you
You
are,
can.
maybe readjust your priorities or
Yeah.
something.
No,
that
I don't
seems
think-
crazy to
Hold
me.
on. The new
I honestly don't think so because it's a good place to start. And you carry your phone around. Say if you're in like a clutch moment, you're not always going to carry around the camera. So this
Thank-
is like a great opportunity.
not even just
Then you're
that.
not a photographer. If you're starting a photography business with an iPhone, anybody can do it.
The Weeknd, one of the biggest pop stars, just recorded his entire music video with an iPhone 16.
Because he was paid to, man.
He was paid
Shut
to.
up.
Regardless,
Shut up. No, shut up. That's an endorsement. That's not
Like,
not
who-
him wanting
okay,
to do that.
so
That's an
you're-
endorsement.
It still looks great. It still looks like a
because it's an endorsement, man. An average user, like if you're gonna do that, like at that point, hey, man, you're my cousin for my wedding. Film it with my iPhone 16 Pro. I'm not gonna buy your services, dude.
Yes,
You can
that's
do
the
that,
point.
though.
So many people already do that. You're not understanding that a lot of filmography is actually done on iPhones now. There's a lot of
If I'm not mistaken, I think the
Movies.
last two Apple keynotes were filmed on all iPhone.
yes,
To prove their point,
exactly. That's
which is fine
to
It
prove
is
their
what it is.
point.
But then why would I hire photographers?
Even photographers are using phones
Right
now.
So then why would I hire you? I'll just get my whole family to film everything.
Sure. That's why I'm saying, what's the point?
could.
You could. You easily could. And Apple's giving you that option. So
Right.
you have
But you
that
may not get the same as if you hire someone because then they can color correct it. They know all the angles.
But
and
Apple can do that.
XYZ. Huh?
Can Apple do that?
Apple can. I mean, to a certain extent,
So-
but not.
Photographers kiss your jobs goodbye. Videographers kiss your jobs goodbye. We don't need you anymore.
I don't
that's,
think-
that's what Apple is saying. That when you purchase this, that's what you're saying.
No,
is-
not necessarily, because you're not. Just,
Apple's just making a tool.
Apple's
for
making
you
the
to
tool.
use.
You can't. If somebody makes a great tool, that doesn't mean the person using the tool knows how to use it properly.
There's that too.
If you think about it, these photographers have been doing this for a long time. They know angles, they know shots, they know exactly what you're looking for. You can get your 16-year-old like niece to come and film you on an iPhone 16, but is it going to look the same level of professionalism that you're going to get from a photographer? No. Even if that photographer was using an iPhone,
But
that
Apple is saying you can be with that with their product.
they're not saying you're going to be like a photographer. But they're saying this is a tool that photographers or people who are interested in photography or videography can use. That's not a phone for you. It's a phone for somebody who's getting into photography or needs it for that. Influencers. Jane, this is perfect for her, right?
Sure.
It's a niche product, but it's not their main. Their main one that they're going to be selling is what? The base iPhone 16, right?
oh yeah.
And that's coming in at what?
Or the Pro.
$1,200, $1,400. That's pretty average for any phone, including Samsung's or Androids at this day and age,
I suppose.
right? So
suppose.
the argument for the Pro Max 1 terabyte is the fact that this is a niche. It is niche, but they've always made these niches.
So you're buying Jane the most expensive 1 terabyte one?
No. I think we're probably gonna get the 512. I'm gonna try to push her to get the Pro Max because I don't want to get the smaller one. I want her to get the bigger one because I think it's just nicer and it'll be better.
Are not sponsored.
We're not sponsored, but I mean, yeah. All right, we will end this episode here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave your comments down below. To the one dude who keeps commenting, we love you. Of course, we
love you, Nav.
next week.
On the last episode, he said he was watching. He started watching Elusive in dubs.
Interesting. I wonder how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder how the dub is.
I'm curious to see how that sounds.
Yeah.
I think I might watch that this week then, and I'll come back. I'll come back to you, young
100%.
commenter. We love you.
It's Nav, isn't it?
It's an F. The one dude. The one dude.
I mean, in his username it says Nav, so it's like okay, thanks, Nav. We appreciate it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Please comment on our stuff, guys, and let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, if you want us to change anything, leave your comments down below. We will actively change things for you guys. We want to cater to the audience that we are speaking to.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you guys
sir.
for watching. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.